This is the NSPN Prep Update, a weekly look at scores, highlights, and stories from across the state. We go to the NSPN studios. Here's your host, Ryan Phelps.
Hello and welcome to the NSPN Prep Update for November 17th. We've got another full show for you stuffed with state football highlights, girls swimming, plus adapted soccer and hockey is already underway. Justin Barrientos will join us with an emotional story about the bond between coach and athlete. And our school snapshot this week will take us to a place where kids are graduating as business owners. But we start with football and the state semifinals. We had all 14 games right here on NSPN.TV. Let's check out the action from US Bank Stadium. We start in Class 6A, Edina versus Minnetonka. The semis were stacked with a lot of great games, but this one you needed to watch from beginning to end. Minnetonka was up 28-7 before Edina sprang to life. In the fourth quarter, Mason West connects with Jabari Strader on the 44-yard score. Minnetonka would come back themselves, but just short on a last-chance two-point conversion. Edina wins 42-41. 975 combined yards of offense could be seen in this game. More 6A, Moorhead versus Lakeville South, tied at 14 in the third quarter. Jet Feeney puts the Spuds in the lead for good. This one was 25 yards to Zach Walker for the score. Walker finished with 7 catches for 128 yards. Feeney had 228 in the air and rushed for 73 yards as Moorhead gets the upset 26-14. They head back to the Prep Bowl for the first time since winning it all back in 1987. Class 5A, Spring Lake Park versus St. Thomas Academy. Cadets lead by 5 and have the ball early in the third quarter. Tristan Carl made just one mistake, but it was costly, throwing a pick six to Marcus Snyder, who telegraphs the pass route in the middle of the field. The score puts the Panthers in the lead for good, as Spring Lake Park wins 39-23. An impressive 402 rushing yards for SLP, 190 from Nolan Roach, and 139 from Lamari Brown, who paced the Panthers. The other 5A game was Chanhassen versus Elk River. First play of the fourth quarter, and a 4th and 1 for Chan. Triple backfield, Wildcat set, and Cade Bush runs 42 yards for the touchdown and the game winner. Elk River had 390 rushing yards, but were kept out of the end zone by the Storm defense in the fourth quarter. Chanhassen wins 22-19. Class 4A, Orono versus Marshall. A thrilling end to a defensive battle. Tied at 7 at the end of regulation. In overtime, both teams score. After Griffin Maurer hits Simon Vinton for a TD, it comes down to the conversion. Maurer floats a pass to Lincoln Steiner for the 2 points, and Orono gets their first ever Prep Bowl appearance. For both Steiner and Vinton, their only catches of the day. Maurer was 14 of 23 for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. Spartans win 15-14. Elsewhere in Class 4A, Casson Manorville versus Grand Rapids. Comets in control for most of the game. Grady Babcock connects with Cameron Tottingham for a 77-yard TD to go up 16-0 early in the third quarter. Grand Rapids would fight back late, but a 2-point conversion to tie was picked off by Tottingham to seal the win in a wild fourth quarter. Casson Manorville survives 16-14 over Grand Rapids. Class 3A, Waseca versus Dilworth Glennon Felton. Waseca looking for momentum. With 7 seconds left before the half, Blue Jay QB Kellen Klinger drops back and splits 2 defenders, putting the ball where only Darren Russell could get it, and Russell with an athletic play himself to haul in the pass. He had 6 catches for 67 yards, while Jordan Johnson had 67 rushing yards as Waseca stays unbeaten with a 14-13 win. With the win, Waseca advances to their first Prep Bowl in school history. In this, their 5th trip to state. There they'll face a team who has played in one championship just 2 years ago. Annandale versus Minneapolis North. Late in this game, the Cardinals looking to put the game out of reach. Isaiah Turner with the carry, 36 yards to the end zone, 2 TDs and 96 yards for Turner. Cam Ergen with 118 rushing yards, and Colton Purcell added 125 in receiving. Annandale had over 400 yards of total offense, winning 36-20. Class 2A, Jackson County Central versus Eden Valley Watkins. Gopher recruit Roman Voss has not had a chance to play in the state title game for his Huskies, so he was going to do everything to get there this year. Voss on the keeper runs 41 yards for the touchdown. He had 107 rushing yards and 4 TDs. He passed for 163 and 2 more scores and had an interception on defense. JCC gets back to the Prep Bowl to defend last year's title with a 38-0 win. More Class 2A, Goodhue versus Holdingford. So many undefeated teams make it this far. It's unfortunate one team's season has to end at the bank. Goodhue looking to extend their lead before the half. On 3rd and 17, Luke Russian goes for it all. He spots Owen Russian on the far sideline, who outleaps Mason Patrick, keeps possession, then has the presence of mind to dive and stretch to get over the goal line for the 35-yard score. Biggest pass play of the day for the Wildcats, who ground out 216 rushing yards in the 24-7 win. Class 1A, Breckenridge versus Murray County Central. Tied at 21 in the fourth quarter, with just over 2 minutes left in the game, David Erlinson gets the call again and comes through with a 1-yard plunge. 23 carries for 123 yards and 3 scores, but none more important than this one. His 24th TD of the season, which seals the win for the 13-0 Cowboys, 28-21 over the Rebels. More Class 1A, Nov17 versus Minnesota. 2 more undefeated teams meeting at US Bank in the semis. The high school Vikings in the red zone, in the home of the Pro Vikings, up by 5 late in the second quarter. Tristan Sussner with a great misdirection fake handoff keeps it himself and runs 15 yards for the score. All the Viking scores were on the ground. In fact, they only passed 5 times in the game. Minnesota advances with a 28-14 win. 9-player Hills Beaver Creek versus Fertile Beltrami in a rematch of last year's championship game. Up by 2 in the second quarter, Patriots driving. Handoff to Eduardo Wagner goes up the middle, breaking a couple of tackles on his way to a 69-yard run to the end zone. Wagner would have 20 carries for 162 yards and that touchdown to pace Hills Beaver Creek in their 30-14 win over Fertile Beltrami. HBC heads into the Prep Bowl with a 12-0 record. And our final 9-player game, Hillcrest Lutheran versus Kitson County Central. 2 more undefeated teams. Comets with the lead on the move in the second quarter. Ethan Swedberg drops back and connects with Isaac Blaskowski, who slips past 2 Bearcats, then evades 2 more before being tackled on the 4 for a 28-yard gain. The drive would be capped off on a 2-yard pass from Swedberg to a wide-open Drew Fisher in the left corner of the end zone. Comets had a balanced offense, 160 yards in the air, 159 on the ground, and a 27-21 win. So here's your lineup for Prep Bowl 43 this Friday and Saturday. Your Friday games, 10 a.m., Class 1A, Breckenridge versus Minnesota. At 1 o'clock, Class 4A takes over. It's Orono versus Cass-in-Manorville. 4 o'clock, Class 2A, Goodhue battles Jackson County Central. And at 7 o'clock in Class 6A, Edina will face Moorhead. All right, Saturday's lineup, 10 a.m., the 9-player final, Hillcrest Lutheran versus Hills Beaver Creek. At 1 o'clock in Class 3A, it's Annandale versus Waseca. And at 4 o'clock, Class 5A with the final game, Spring Lake Park versus Chanhassen. All these games for Prep Bowl 43 are on KSTC Channel 45. It's trivia time. Coming into the weekend, who held the state record for the girls 200 freestyle? Spoiler alert, that record was broken this weekend. The answer plus state swimming highlights and reaction when we return.
New journey.
Division 3 straight to Division 1.
New energy. Same standard.
The Tommies have climbed to the peak of the summit.
And your Pioneer Football League champions wear purple and gray.
No limits. Welcome to St. Thomas Athletics.
Support your teams and community with NSPN.TV. Enjoy exclusive coverage from summer town ball to high school championships. Plus, feature stories and podcasts that bring you closer to the action. Stay connected with NSPN.TV, your neighborhood sports network.
Welcome back to the NSPN Prep Update. I'm Ryan Phelps. Your trivia question was, who held the state record for the girls 200 freestyle? The answer was Carly Quast of Wayzata. She set the mark at 147.33 in 2016. But records are made to be broken, and that is one that fell this weekend at the U of M Aquatic Center at Girls State Swimming and Diving. Monticello's Adeline Beegler had quite a day at the state championships. Here in the 200 freestyle, Beegler set the state record at 146.93, breaking Carly Quast's record, the one we just talked about. It was one of two individual titles for Beegler, who also was part of two relay wins and helped Monticello to their first team title in school history.
I'm just so excited. I've been crying like all night, but I don't know, so many emotions. I'm so excited.
Chloe Arness of Hastings took the 1 meter diving state title. She was down 35 points going into the final dive and scored a 53.9 on her reverse 1.5 somersault half twist dive to secure the win.
I was just telling myself, like, I got to score like at least 35 points to make it first. I was very surprised that I got to score over 50. I was not expecting that at all.
Elena Biebel of Mounds Park Academy won the 100 backstroke for the second consecutive year with a time of 56.73. Biebel also helped Mounds Park Academy to the 200-yard medley relay win.
I wanted to go a little faster, but it's okay. It ended with a win, and I'm happy about that. So.
As was mentioned earlier, Monticello won this year's team title, the first in school history, with 227 points, ahead of Visitation, who was second with 210. Logan Haverman of Eastridge defended her title in the 100 breaststroke this year and 200 individual medley with a time of 2:01.26. In the IM, Haverman trailed going into the final turn.
I hit the back to breast turn. I was like, okay, now I gotta like push it really hard. But I had a really good time, and honestly, one of my favorite things to do in swimming is come back from behind, and it's just so fun for me. So yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Ashley Moyenga of Wayzata already had her state championship in hand as she approached her final dive. Moyenga did a back 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twist, scoring 55 points to easily win with a total of 490.7.
I'm really proud of like everything that I've done this season. I feel like I've worked really hard in and out of practice, and like being a state champion, I feel really proud of myself, and I'm really excited for what the future holds.
Ellie Bina of Mounds View, who finished 4th in the 500 free as a junior last year, won the title this year, besting last year's winning time by a full second.
The difference in that race is I saw I was ahead for most of it, so I knew I had to keep pushing at the end. I was feeling pretty tired. Like I saw on the board at the end that a lot of people came back faster than me, but just seeing people, I knew I had to kick it in, so I did what I could at the end.
Edina held off Minnetonka in the 2A team competition, winning the 400 freestyle relay to cement the win. Edina scored 342 points ahead of Minnetonka's 332. Edina's Libby McCarthy also had a state record, winning the 50 freestyle in 22.52 seconds. That beat the previous record, 22.54, set in 2015 by Edina's Rachel Whitmer. A good coach teaches more than just the X's and O's. They form a bond with the athlete, and their lessons and that connection go beyond the game. Justin Barrientos has more.
When you win a championship, a lot of emotion comes to the forefront. Some expected, like the chance to celebrate with your teammates, or the feeling of accomplishing a lifelong dream.
It's amazing. I mean, I never thought. I mean, it's a little girl's dream. You never know, and being able to do it back-to-back is even better.
Then again, some are unexpected and spur of the moment, like what happened this year with the Mayer Lutheran volleyball team. After the final point was scored and the medals were being awarded, a special moment occurred with head coach Joelle Grimsley and senior Clara Kevney.
I love it. I'm not like a 6-foot tall coach, so I'm pretty easy to do that too. We have, this group, we have such a great relationship, but they know the line, but they also like to have fun with me, so it's how they perform so well because we do have a great relationship.
Coaches are teachers, but in sports and also in life.
She's probably the most amazing person in my life. I mean, she's always there for me through
personal stuff, personal life, and through everything, volleyball, basketball. She knows that I play basketball even though she doesn't love it. But, I mean, she's always there for me and cheering me on, probably one of my biggest supporters.
They're just a joy, both of the Kevneys, and they know true grit. Like, they know what grit is, and yet they can lead their team, and they have to find a fine line because they're tough. They are all business, and we like to have a little fun, and sometimes I get yelled at by them because I might be having too much fun, but like, they have done a lot for our program.
All the kids are different, right? You just got to find them where they're at and help them get better. I mean, and they're looking at each other, helping each other get better, and their communication is awesome. They're always talking to each other, so it isn't always me, or it's the other coaching staff. I mean, we got lots of years of experience on the bench, so there's people helping out at every single station.
Coaches also mean the world to some athletes, at their highest point, their lowest point, and even at the beginning of their journey.
Steve has known me since I was probably 3, and he's coached me since I was little, and it just means so much to me. Like, sometimes when he gets his medal, I just cry. Like, when he got his Hall of Fame award at our game, I literally just started crying. Like, he means so much to me. He literally is the reason I am the player today, and he supported me through it all.
Kaylin was talking about the fact that I've probably known her since she was 3, which is true. I had Romy as a student in kindergarten. I had a Laura as a student in elementary school, and so I kind of have been with them for a long time.
When it comes down to it, coaches have their athletes for a short amount of time that is cherished.
It's bittersweet because we did have 8 seniors out there tonight, and those kids have had a lot of success in our program, and they're going to be sorely missed. But if you do have to have an ending, this is the way to end it. So we're extremely excited for those kids. They put in a lot of time and energy.
From Grand Casino Arena in downtown St. Paul, I'm Justin Barrientos, NSPN.TV.
There's still one more segment left in the prep update. When we return, more state tournament highlights, plus a school snapshot with students from all over the world.
There's a new destination for all things Minnesota high school sports. It's called Strib Varsity. It's from the Minnesota Star Tribune, so you know it's trusted. With a deep bench to cover all of Minnesota. We've rebuilt and relaunched our Prep hubs and added more sports. Stories, streams, stats, scores, schedules. We have it all at Strib Varsity. Subscribe today at startribune.com/stribvarsity.
One final tournament you saw this weekend right here on NSPN was State Adapted Soccer. That one wrapped up at White Bear Lake with a couple of Blue Bloods taking home the blue ribbons. CI Finals. Nolan St. Staver scored 5 goals to lead Dakota United to the 5-1 win over South Washington County. It's back-to-back championships for the Hawks and the 4th overall title for the program. In the PI Finals, Park Center's Lincoln Searcy scored 2 goals for the Pirates, including this penalty kick to cap off a 9-0 season with the state title. It's the 2nd championship for Park Center, who also won it back in 1998. As we wrap up another fall season, it's time to look ahead. Practice is in full swing for your favorite winter sports, and the regular season is already underway in girls hockey. Gentry Academy versus Laverne. Already up 4-2 in the 3rd period, Gentry Academy gets some insurance when Brooklyn Carlston shakes off a check on the far side and finds a wide-open Maddie Baker in the slot for the goal. Gentry Academy wins 6-2. The Stars have won 3 straight after dropping their season opener. Blaine versus Elk River. Elk River scored in the 3rd period to send this game to overtime. In the extra session, junior Collie Johnson intercepts a pass on the far side and fights off the defenders to get the game winner. Johnson has already committed to UW River Falls. Blaine is 2-1 on this young season. It's time for our school snapshot. That's when we get to know the towns, schools, and communities outside the playing field. Today we take you to one of the few boarding schools in Minnesota. Hillcrest Lutheran has called Fergus Falls home since they opened their doors in 1916. Located 175 miles northwest of the Twin Cities, the school serves its 300 students, preschool through 12th grade, from the local community and well beyond. It's also a boarding school for their many international students. That helps make up a diverse global student body. They come from South Korea, Norway, Brazil, Canada, and all across the U.S. The student success stems from their teachers, many of whom are decades into their tenure at the school. They build their foundation in the Bible and turn out students ready for the world. Principal Luke Fiskness.
We have about half that go to college, and we're super proud of them. And then we have anywhere from 20 to 25% of our students each year are entrepreneurs, where they are actually going out and starting businesses right after high school. I can have a couple from last year that are already successful business owners in the Fergus Falls community, and they graduated last year. We do have an entrepreneurial track that helps with that, but we just want these kids to be well educated and stand on their own after graduation.
Strong academics, fantastic fine arts. Shout out to Mr. Clark. But the camaraderie at this school stands out. It's what they call their house system, where students are paired up in groups 9 through 12, and that family stays together throughout their time for connection and fellowship. It's part of who they are, students and staff.
Jesus first in our identity, in our faith. And secondly, it would be the tenure and the giftings of our teachers. When we look at those who have served here for 30, 40 years, and also more recently, the dedication that they have for academics, but even more so for their students and their families, is absolutely unmatched. It's not just a job for these teachers and educators and staff, it's part of who they are and their calling, and that's one of the greatest things about Hillcrest.
That'll do it for this episode of the NSPN Prep Update. We'll be back with more next week. For Hannah, JB, and the rest of the NSPN crew, I'm Ryan Phelps saying so long from the Neighborhood Sports Network.